Hey guys, Brother Kevin here again with Midweek. Just wanted to talk through these 10 commandments again and talk about the next commandment. Last week we talked about the Sabbath day and keeping it holy, and we talked about how that we have one Lord's Day where we put Him in honor and we worship Him, and we talked a lot about that. If you want to hear more about that commandment, which is I think number 4, then you can go back and watch the video right before this one. And today we're going to be talking about one that especially is right in your age group. I know some of these, all of this so far has been talking about God, and they call that vertical, where the commandments are dealing with God directly. And now we're starting to deal with what they call our horizontal relationships, or relationships that are even with us. God is above us, all right? And then also people around us are beside us. They are also created beings, I guess is the way to say it, created by God. So your parents are one of those. And this next one is number 5, talks about honoring your father and mother. And Exodus 20, verse 12 says this: honor your father and mother, and then you will live a long, full life in the land the Lord your God is giving you. Honor your father and mother, and then you will live a long, full life in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. So, honor your father and mother. Honor your father and mother. This is especially important with you guys, this commandment, because you are right now, all of you are under their household. And maybe we're going to talk just a little bit about this in one of the things in just a minute, one of the points that I'm going to bring up. But you may be living with a foster parent. You may be living with grandparents. Those are the same. You have one set of parents, biological, but whether you're adopted, whether you're a foster child, whether you're living with a set of grandparents, you honor them as parents in your life. And so you may be in a special situation, but I know that when I talk about this, the people who you live with are the ones that you honor in this way, as well as your biological parents. So we're going to be talking about that. What does it mean to honor them? Honor means respect. It means that you respect them. And it's not just about respect where you say, I respect who you are, but then I don't listen to what you say. That's not respect. Full respect means you honor who they are, and you also do what they tell you to. Your actions and your attitudes speak louder than just you saying, I respect you, I honor you. How you treat them is going to be a big deal in how you honor them. So I want to give you 5 things, 5 ways how you honor your parents, okay? And the first one is this. Your first one is honoring them in love. Honoring them in love. It's not just about saying I love you. It's about honoring them with love that you have for them. So Jesus, He loves us in that way. He loves us even though we didn't deserve it. And that's what we want. We want to be acting out about love. Our actions should show that we love. We can't wait for our parents to do that first. They probably do, but you have to be showing love to them as well. We don't always wait on them. Love is the beginning of all respect and honor for your parents. Okay. Number 2, the second thing you have to remember about honoring and respecting your parents is forgiveness. Forgiveness. What does that mean? It means when they may do something wrong or we do something wrong, to ask forgiveness of the Lord. We say, Lord, forgive me for what I do. He honors that forgiveness. Well, if you have something between you and your parents, let's say you guys have had a fight. Well, if you hold on to that, anger and that resentment from that fight, what happens is the devil gets a foothold in your life. And Ephesians 4:27 says that. Don't give the devil a foothold. What that means is that he can get a hold of that and cause you to sin because you've not asked forgiveness, or you're just holding on to hurt in your life. And I talked about biological parents, maybe versus foster parents. I realize that some of you may be harboring guilt or harboring hatred or anger for your biological parents because they're not, you maybe feel like they're not worthy of your respect or honor because of some things they've done in your life. I'm here to tell you that God never calls us to that. God tells us that we honor and respect our parents, even in times when they may struggle to show you Christian love and show you forgiveness. God says, if you are a Christian, if you have Christ in your heart, then you can only deal with what comes into your life. You can offer forgiveness, even though they may not deserve it. Okay, and I know that sounds harsh, but that's what Jesus did for us. Jesus said, even though you don't deserve my forgiveness and my grace, I'm going to offer it to you. And that's what he tells us in the same way. Okay, so let's move on. Forgiveness. The next one is cooperation. How do you honor your parents? You honor them by cooperating in a spirit of love and forgiveness, right? After all, God's put them as this place in your life to help you grow as a human being. He gave you to your parents or your foster parents to lead you and guide you in this way. And so it's up to you to cooperate. Now, what does that mean? It means when they tell you to do something, you don't roll your eyes. Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh. You know, every time they tell you to do something, you're not rolling your eyes. You're not saying, oh, I don't want to do that. Well, the chain of command is your parents tell you what to do, not you, your parents. And so having two grown kids, this is a constant battle. You tell kids to do something, they don't want to do it because they don't want it. It's not what they want to do at the moment. Well, in love and cooperation, when you honor your parents, you do the things that they ask you to do, even though you may not want to in the moment. Okay, that's the whole point. Cooperation is working together to accomplish something. It's about the attitude in your heart. Now, in the next few weeks, we're going to talk about murder and adultery and some things like that, some really heavy things for kids to understand. But what we're going to talk about is the intent of your heart, not just about the physical action. So what does that mean? It means if you in your heart are going, oh, why do I have to do this? And you go, okay, Mom, I'll do it. Well, that means that your heart is not right. Your heart is not being cooperative. Now, if that's the first reaction, and then you go on to say, I'm going to cooperate and do what you say, then that may just be a temptation to sin in your life, not full-blown sin. But your heart matters. If you go and you do what your parents say and you cooperate with them, but the whole time you've got a bad attitude about it, well, then that means that you're still living in sin. You're not honoring and respecting them. Okay? So, to make this not so long, the next one is value. The next one is value. We talked a little bit about this with the dollar bill versus the $100 bill. And when we talked about God and we talked about how we value Him, He is above us, right? We value our parents, and God gave us to them, right? So my kids were born to me and Michelle. So I have Jordan, who's my son, and I have Kayla, who is my daughter. You may know them, you may not. They're grown kids now, but they value me as their parent. They value Michelle as their parent because God gave them to us to raise. Now, how do we value and honor them? Again, by cooperating, by not speaking badly about them, not putting them down. You're putting your parents down or talking to them in a real sarcastic way, being mouthy, right? It's what we call it, being mouthy. You do what they say. You don't roll your eyes every time they ask you to do something. That's valuing them. That's cooperating with them, okay? And the last one is this. I don't want it to get too long. The final one is to show appreciation, okay? Appreciation. And this is appreciation means that you honor them, you value them, you cooperate with them, you appreciate who they are in your life, that they are your parents. There is a special place for them. Like I said, even though they may not at times have done everything right by you. If you're maybe, like I said, you're not living with your parents, you still have to value who they are in your life. Okay. You appreciate them for who they are. And this also calls into something that I had to do recently in the last few years, and that was take care of my mom and dad in the last few years. Now, they've both died. They're both gone on to be with the Lord now. They're in heaven. I know that. But Mom lived with us for the last couple of years of her life until last summer. And a part of valuing your parents is knowing that as they get older and you grow up and become adults, that you are there to help take care of them as well and to do things for them and to help them. Now, I know that may be a heavy thing right now for you as kids, but it's something I've been going through. Just wanted to share that with you. As you grow up, you're going to switch roles. You're going to help take care of them as well. That's a part of valuing and honoring them. This has been a good one. This has been a good commandment. Honor your father and mother, and you will live long and you'll prosper in the land that God gives you. I want you to think about those things in your life. How do I honor daily my mom and dad? We're going to be coming back next week, and we will talk about the next commandments, which is thou shalt not commit murder, you should not commit adultery. We're going to talk about those things in the way that kids can understand them. So don't have any fear about that. But we love you guys. I'm glad you're listening. Hope to see you soon in person at church, maybe in life groups. We're having life groups now at 9 o'clock and then service at 10 o'clock. So we hope to see you there. Mr. Scott's going to be teaching soon. We'll talk to you later. Bye.